So what stops you from achieving your goals? Do you want to answer? Okay. Fear is one thing.
Just get out of your own way.
Shy.
Being shy, right? Well, one of the things that, oh yeah, you can.
Not knowing what they are, like what they truly are.
Oh, that's really good. One more, last one.
Your brain, conditional programming that you've grown.
There we go. That's what I was getting at. That's good though. Everybody's answers were good. That's really good. So what stops you, the quote that I heard, and I don't know who it's attributed to, but you can look it up, is that it's not what we don't know, it's what we know that just ain't so that stops our goals, right? There's a story that they shared at the Millionaire Mind Intensive, and it was these two monks. There was an older monk, and then there was a younger monk. And the younger monk was like, hey, master, tell me everything you know, I want to know everything you know, I want to know everything you know. And then he was like, the older monk was like, have some tea. He's like, I don't want any tea, I want to know everything that you know, I want to know it all. He said, have some tea. He said, I want to know, have some tea. So finally, the younger monk sat down, and then his master started pouring the tea, and he just kept pouring the tea, and then the tea started overflowing out of the cup. He's like, what are you doing? There's tea everywhere. It's getting all over the place. And his master said this. He said, when one's cup is already full, there is no room for more. Now everybody put your hand on your chin and say, oh, absolutely. So what we do in life, right, is we do what? If you could see it.
Learn.
It's kind of a messed up N. It's learn. We learn. So we learn, right? So learning is the key, but the key to succeeding is to what?
Unlearn.
One more time?
Unlearn.
Thank you. It is to unlearn a lot of the things in life that we've learned that are wrong. And the first element to be able to change this behavior is, for those of you back there, I'm sorry, I'm blocking you. Awareness. If you can read that. My handwriting has been compared to serial killers. So I'm working on it. So it's awareness, right? Say that word one more time.
Awareness.
It's the awareness of it before you can change it. So I'm going to talk about some of those things and how you can be aware, what to be aware of, and then how to utilize that. So the first thing is your internal mindset. So Henry Ford has this quote, and it's true. It's true. You can only accomplish things that you believe in. True or true? True. Right? If you don't have the belief, then you're never gonna make it. So before, I've talked about this, and so some of you may remember, and some of you don't. This is a good refresher. So I'm gonna have to do this. Let's see if this is better. I was practicing this earlier, and it was terrible. So, just as terrible. Awesome. So there you go. What is that supposed to be?
Tree.
All right?
Broccoli.
So it's a Dr. Seuss tree. But it's a tree, right? So a lot of times in our lives, we complain about the fruits. Can't believe I just did that. Yoichi, can you turn on the slides? On that slide, just put that back up. Thank you. So the fruits of the tree, we always complain about that, right? A lot of people go, oh, this fruit is too big, this fruit is too small, this fruit is rotten. And so what do? You get rid of the fruit. But what's going to grow back next year?
Fruit.
The same fruit. You didn't improve anything. Everything is right down here in the
Roots.
One more time?
Roots.
One more time, twice as loud.
Roots.
Thank you, awesome. It's the roots. It's the things that you don't see that affect the things that you do. The invisible impacts the visible. And so your lack of money, your lack of success, the things in your life that you lack typically is a result of what's inside you. Prosperity is an inside job. And what's holding you back is usually your own limiting belief. A lot of the times we say, oh, well, I can't do that. Oh, there's no way I can do that. I used to be afraid of heights. I still kind of am. But I thought, you know what? A way to get over that is to just rock climb. I never thought I could do it. I was like, oh, but then I just started doing it. And then I find that not only do I enjoy it, but I'm pretty good at it at the time. I haven't done it in a while. But at the time, I was really good. I was starting to get really good at it. And so those are the types of things that are holding you back maybe in business. You're, oh, well, I don't want to make all those cold calls. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Well, then either find a way around it or just get over it. Just get over it. So we're all pretty familiar with this picture, right? A lot of people have seen this. So what you can't see is more powerful than anything that you can see. Usually what drives where you end up is what you believe. If you listen to, there's a viral video of Jim Carrey going around speaking at a graduation. You listen to a lot of things that Will Smith says, and all these people that are successful, we're trying to get there. They have the same thing. They say that they saw themselves there before they were ever there. A guy that's mentored me, he was talking about speaking at this big event. Thousands of people were there. And then they asked him afterwards, were you nervous? That's the first time you ever did that. He's like, I've done this 100 times. I've seen it every day. So I'm supposed to be here. And when you have that mentality, it's going to come to you. The biggest key is going to be turning the slideshow, apparently. There it goes. Habits. You got to put the energy into it. You got to have energy. It wasn't respecting that laziness. This thing doesn't take dabbling. So it's about habits. So many people know Warren Buffett, and the truth is, everything that we do is a habit, right? Everything. So there are habits. Let's see if people do this. There are habits of doing. And there are habits of what? Not doing. Say it again? Not doing, absolutely. So there are things that we do and things that we don't do. I invest. I know Steve's an investor. He said he was a stock trader, right? Some of you may do that. That's because that's in our habit to do that. If you don't do it, that's a habit too. If you run, and you run all the time, that's obviously a habit. And if you don't, and you like to eat ice cream all the time, that's a habit too. That's a bad habit I have. Yeah. Going to the gym. So we're all primed and we're all programmed to believe certain things. And a lot of it is stuff that you don't even realize. The way that your parents behaved, your friends that you hung out with when you were little, a lot of that stuff becomes a part of who you are. So speaking of how hot it is, and everybody's getting hot, thermostat. So the thermostat is your habit. What does the thermostat do? Well, whenever the temperature goes up, it pushes it back down to the temperature that you set. If it goes down, it pushes it back up. So that's what's happening to a lot of people whenever, and it may be happening to some of you, I know it's happened to me before, is we're all fantastic starters, right? We're getting ready, yeah, woo, I'm going to start running, I'm going to train for this marathon, woo, oh man, that was tough. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll just reduce my training, maybe I'll run a little less, and then I'll build up to it. So what you do, so what happens is your habit sets the baseline, and you can temporarily change that, but if you don't change your habits, it's just going to push you back to where you were before. So you're going to start, and then your habit's like, no, we don't run. We don't run. And pretty soon you're just going to make excuses. Oh, you know what? It's too hot outside. It's too cold outside. It rained like 3 days ago, and I'm still kind of feeling it. I'm still a little tired. I'm not going to do that. And so that's what we end up doing to ourselves, and we sabotage ourselves. And so what you do, the way you set it, it's your blueprint. Your habits are the blueprint of your life. And if you set faulty blueprints, then you'll never build a structure. You'll never build a future. So one of the other things I want to cover is energy. Oh my goodness, let me hear you, energy. Come on. Oh! Absolutely. Energy is so important. The key to success is to raise your energy, because people are attracted to energy. People love energy. They love being around people that are fun to be around, and that's what that is. It's energy. So I was recently watching a TV show, and they mentioned the first law of thermodynamics. Who knows that? Engineers in here, like some freaking technical people. No, nobody cares. The first law of thermodynamics is that energy isn't created or destroyed.
Transfers.
It's just, see, you knew, you should have said something, man. Okay. Well, the first law of thermodynamics, energy isn't created or destroyed. It's just transferred. And I believe that about everything in life. People that say, oh, I just don't have the energy, I don't have the... You have all the resources, you just don't care enough. You don't have the desire, you're not interested, or you're not committed. You might be interested. Anybody know the difference between interest and commitment?
Sweat.
Yeah. When you're interested in something, you do it while it's convenient. But when you're committed, you'll stop at nothing to succeed. So if you don't know what it is that you want, and this is something that a person that taught me in entrepreneurialism told me. He said, if you don't know what it is that you want, you're going to get, let's see here. You're going to get what? What's left. You're going to get what's left. Now, people always say, oh, this is an abundant universe, and there's enough for everybody. I don't know that. I don't care. I want mine. I want to be successful. Right? If you don't want to be successful, give me your energy, man. I'll take it. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take it to the top. And so that's the way you need to think, is you need to have the energy. You need, because it's out there for the people that want it, as we've seen. And there's a lot of people who don't. So take theirs. Be successful. Now, and this leads to a great key is, so how do you do that? You do what?
Take action.
You do what?
You take action.
One more time.
Take action.
Thank you. You take action. You do something. Because when you do something, then you're doing something, right? You're moving a direction. You make mistakes. You have to figure it out. But a lot of times we sit, and I've been guilty of this, is we plan it out. Oh, man, well, the conditions just aren't right today. I'm just not going to do it. But it's never going to be right. And if you wait for the time when it's right, then you'll be like 80 years old, and you have done nothing. But you lived a great life in your own mind, and you thought, oh, it was fun, but I didn't do anything. I didn't accomplish any of my goals, but that was cool. And then maybe if you get reincarnated, then maybe you have another shot at it, and you'll learn your lesson. So I have this chart here. Can everybody see this pretty good?
Yes.
You guys in the back? No, your eyesight's bad. You watch the tape. I'll send you a picture. I'll text it to you. No, I'm just kidding. So this I got from Seth Godin. It was posted on a blog called A Sales Guy, G-U-Y. And so he talks about, so I've talked before about dabblers, and so this chart kind of lays it out. So when you're starting out in something, first off, it starts there, and the people that are going to quit are just going to quit. Oh, man, I got to go to what? I got to do what? I got to wake up at 7 in the morning? I'm done. Tapped out. But then you got people that dabble in it. So when you're starting in something, you're improving quickly. You're learning so much stuff. You're getting all this knowledge in your head. And you're like, yeah, man, this is awesome. But then there'll come a point where you're going to stop improving as much. But you're going to have to put in a lot more time and effort. And that's where you get the people that are hobbyists. They still enjoy doing it, and they're willing to put in the work. But the people that truly succeed are not only willing to put in the effort and the time, they're willing to accept minimal improvements. If you ever watch, so for example, we had Meb up there, and he's a world-class runner, won the Boston Marathon. He doesn't make a lot of tweaks to the way that he runs. He tries to shave off a tenth of a second here. He tries to learn this technique to shave off a second there. And so that's the world-class sprinters are doing that. That's what world-class athletes do. Baseball players will spend hours upon hours to perfect one tiny little thing in their swing. But that one thing that they do is the difference between getting kicked out of the league and making millions of dollars a lot of the time. And in sales and in a lot of your personal lives, it's the difference between being all right and being awesome. Who wants to be awesome? Awesome, exactly. We all want to be awesome, or at least we should want to be awesome. But a lot of us think we want to be awesome until we know what it takes to be awesome, and then we're like, nah, never mind. What does it take? You'll learn. So that's a little bit, yeah. So one of the other things that you need to do, you need to celebrate, man. Have a good time. Celebrate the things that you do. So many times, we were talking about the conditioned mind earlier, so many times we let our conditioned mind talk us out of stuff like, oh, hey, Will, that was a great presentation. No, it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal. It is awesome. I'm bringing the energy. I'm having a great time. You have to celebrate the thing. I'm just celebrating the fact that I did this. Not many people want to be up here doing what I'm doing. That's worth celebrating. I do a lot of presentations in a college course that I'm taking. And they're a lot more intricate than this, and I have all this animations and do all this crazy stuff. And then afterwards, the instructors will pull us aside, our team, because it's a team effort, but I build the PowerPoints. And they say, wow, that was the best PowerPoint that I've ever seen. And I'm like, hell yeah, it was, because we're the best. And then we celebrate. That was awesome. We feel great. Now let's do it again next time. And so what you need to do is, if you don't celebrate things, you need to celebrate simple things. You need to be like, man, look at that. I freaking got up this morning. That's awesome. I can drive a car. That's phenomenal. Man, and I learned that a long time ago. I am so good. I can come to this meeting and have a great time and meet great people. You need to celebrate that. And so one of the other things we do here and what I do in my life, so the reason why I do that, people ask me all the time, why do you spend so much time doing this? It's just a class project. Because how you do anything is how you do
Everything.
It's how you do
Everything.
It's how you do
Everything.
Thank you. It's how you do everything. The little things in life become the biggest things in life. Because you think, oh, well, it's not a big deal. I'll follow up with that guy later. I'll do this thing later. And then you have no clients because now you get in the habit, oh, I'll follow up. I'll do this later. I'll do this later. Those little things start becoming big things, and then it rains on your parade. And then you're sad. Because things suck. But that's why things suck. There was a great talk given by this Navy SEAL admiral recently. Some of you may have seen it, where he delivered a commencement speech to all the graduating seniors. And one of the things he said is incredibly true. It's that you get up in the morning when you're in the military and you got to make that bunk, you got to make that bed and fold those clothes because of that reason. Because how you do the little things is how you do the big things. And when I was working with the Navy SEALs, I was not a Navy SEAL, just on the record. I want to make sure I say that because they will beat me up if they hear me claiming otherwise. But when I worked with them, every little thing mattered. And if you were like, oh, that's not a big deal, it was a big deal. And they made you know it was a big deal by doing unspeakable things to you. I'm just kidding. They're great. But it's a big deal. So how you do anything is how you do
Everything.
Absolutely. And so that's why we say when you come here, commit to what we do, commit to the exercises, everything that you do, commit to it fully because number one, you may learn something, and number two, may actually have a good time. And who wants to have a good time today? Is everybody having a good time today? All right. Thank you very much.